I'm the Azorius officer who spent all day on the toilet because I'm lactose intolerant, Ralph.
And I'm that fleeting moment of joy when you open up a new pack of cards, Jazz.
That's cute. And welcome to the Partner Commanders podcast. We are partners and we are here to talk about the Commander format. Hello, babe. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing fantastic. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hope you guys are having an awesome week.
Yeah, I mean, these episodes air on a Tuesday, so I hope you had a great weekend. I hope the Monday grind wasn't too awful. But yeah, if you just want to sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and listen to two gays gaggle about their favorite game,
Ooh, we love an alliteration. Hey.
thank you. Hey. So, how's your week been, Jess?
My weekend was really good. I mean, I played a few games on Spell Table with some local friends and they did really well. Oh, and then we play tested against your deck again.
Yes, my Gen Arcanum Weaver has been brought to life, and I slung curses and enchantments around, and oh, it was such a good time. I definitely need to play test a bit more, and
We promptly had to shut him down very quickly though.
I mean, I don't blame you, but at the same time, I do because I didn't get to. Nobody got a full round of captive audience, or nobody got enchanted with an overwhelming splendor. So I've obviously failed.
When you play cards like that, there's going to be a response. There's always going to be a response.
Hmm. See, no, I disagree. You don't have to. It's fine. There's probably someone else more dangerous than me, i.e., you.
No, there has to be a response. I feel like those cards are played when you are like far and above the lead. Like
Mm. I mean, I can play them when I'm behind as well because
because those cards automatic hate because that I'm just saying those cards are literally you are putting them out there and saying you are my enemy. There's no like ifs, ands, or buts around it. Like when someone plays a consecrated sphinx, yeah, they're getting ahead. You need to get rid of that consecrated sphinx. But when someone plays an overwhelming splendor on you, that opponent is saying, "I hate you."
yeah, that's true. It shuts down all of the green players who are um, obsessed with value engines, and it gets rid of all their abilities. So die mad about it.
I mean, but it didn't go off, so it didn't work. So
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Has anything interesting happened for you this week that you are excited about? We got some Overwatch 2 content. Isn't that do you
oh, yeah, that's super exciting. It was BlizzConline this past weekend, and
So we've seen some new character designs, some locations.
Overwatch looks really really fun and interesting. I was able to play test it back in 2019 BlizzCon. I like one of so I have gone to BlizzCon for the past few years, except for obviously the year that we do not mention, and it's always been a fun time. I love the energy of it, and as much as fun as like BlizzCon online was, and like seeing all the new content and seeing all the panels, it doesn't have that same feeling with like the fandom and like the it's the fans there, and it's really so much fun being in that kind of presence and that energy, seeing all the cosplay. And also, I miss the food trucks. If you have gone to BlizzCon, you understand what I mean because the food trucks are fucking amazing. And also, it's just a good time for me and my friends because they come over from the Midwest and it's just a fun time in the Anaheim, LA area, and Anaheim, Orange County, LA area as a whole. So yeah, BlizzCon Online was fun. It was cool. Lots of new fun stuff. I'm actually super excited for the remaster of Diablo 2.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that too. I've never played the Diablo games, so I'm actually hoping to pick that up for the Switch when it's released.
Yeah, Diablo 2 is gonna be really really fun. It was such a classic when it came out, and it looks really good with what they've done to it. They still kept like the slight integrity of it, so it doesn't look like completely modern, but it also doesn't look dated. It's like in this nice middle ground of where it could be.
Yeah, it looks really sleek. I'm excited about it.
So tell me about your week, Ralph. What has happened?
My week has been pretty lovely. I've finally put together 3 EDH decks that I've been very excited about. They've been in the works ever since the cards were previewed. Obviously, we spoke about my Gen deck that I am a big that I absolutely love. Mardu Enchantresses, it's wonderful, and my Belby deck. Which is a Beldrazi tribal deck. So I use Belby to create lots of colorless mana and cast loads of Eldrazi, which is a lot of fun. And I also have a Marisi kind of group huggy forced combat deck that is gonna make loads of tokens. That like I'm gonna donate loads of tokens to people with cards like Hunted Dragon and whatever. And but I'm gonna make them all fight each other. So it's like, oh, I just want to remind everybody there's a combat step. You know, beat each other up, please. And yeah, I just can't. I just want to play test them all and like never stop playing. But otherwise, it's been pretty nice. The weather is starting to improve, so I'm going outside more, which has been a huge help just for cabin fever and whatnot.
Yes, we love to hear about it.
But yeah, it's been pretty. It's been lovely. Yeah, I feel like things are improving overall, and yeah, I'm just hopeful for the future, and that that sappy shit.
For real, we need it.
Yeah, for absolutely. I know that there was the Nintendo Direct last week that you know it happened. I'm definitely annoyed that there wasn't more interesting remakes or sequels revealed. A lot of people are waiting for the Pokemon Sinnoh remakes and Breath of the Wild 2 and Bayonetta 3, and none of those got previewed. There wasn't even any Metroid news, so I don't know. I'm waiting on something a little more interesting than Skyward Sword.
Okay, so I'm not a big fan, or not a big, not no. Let me rewind. I'm not big into the franchise of Legend of Zelda. I don't know a lot about it. I'm not like super well versed. What is the big deal with them remastering Skyward Sword? Like, why is that like such a hot button topic?
It just nobody liked the original game for the Wii. Like it was not high on the list at all to receive a Switch port, and people wanted to see like a Twilight Princess remaster or a Breath of the Wild 2 game announced, just anything other than Skyward Sword, which it's just kind of the dark horse of the franchise that nobody really has any love for. And I never even played it. So, yeah.
Wait, so if you've never even played it, then how are you already judging it for being upset that it's being remastered?
I'm not I'm not judging it. I just have no excitement for the remaster. I would have excitement for something like Breath of the Wild 2 or Twilight Princess remake or something like that.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
This week we are going to talk about Jazz
We're talking about Strixhaven.
Strixhaven.
It was just leaked, or not leaked. It was just previewed, or
Yes, the school is open. We are attending class. We've been saved by the bell, and we are going to the multiverse's premier university.
okay. Let's just be real. It's fucking Hogwarts, guys.
It's not. It's not.
It's
It's not
Hogwarts.
Hogwarts. It's not Hogwarts. It has to not be Hogwarts.
Unfortunately, that's just kind of how it is.
Listen, it's college. It's antithetical to Hogwarts.
Okay, fine. It's Fillory. No, wait, no, it's not Fillory. What is the name of the magician's school? I'm blanking
I
out.
don't fucking know.
Oh God, Break Bills. It's called Break Bills.
Come on, Google.
And so basically, this is Break Bills if it's supposed to be college.
So, Strixhaven is the school of mages, and this set is set on a plane known as Arcavios. We weren't expecting previews about it so soon because the set is not due to be released until April.
Literally, it's been less than 2 weeks since Call Time has been
Yes.
officially out, and then they're just like dropping this, and it's like, guys, let us breathe.
Yeah, they threw this on us real fast, and everyone's just like, "Whoa, wait, what? Time Spiral is next week. You're throwing that. You're giving us this? Whoa, what?" It's a little bit nuts. But besides the tight nature of these previews, They actually have given us some really interesting stuff to look at and discuss in the meantime. They revealed 5 cards to us.
And these 5 cards are based off of the 5 colleges. Yeah, it's not houses. We're not calling them houses.
No,
They're the 5 colleges of Strixhaven,
yeah,
um, which are basically based off of enemy colored pairings.
yes. So we have the in the Is It pairing, which is the Prismari. In the preview article, the Prismari are described as the excited creative theater group, theater college of Strixhaven. So it's performers, creativity, and that kind of thing, which does is an interesting twist on the Is It pairing, which I'm very happy about. It feels very distinct from the Is It League on Ravnica, so I'm happy with this kind of pairing. And so the card that was previewed that displays the Prismari and their style is Prismari Command. So Prismari Command is an instant for 1, a blue, and a red. It reads choose 2. Prismari Command deals 2 damage to any target. Target player draws 2 cards, then discards 2 cards. Target player creates a treasure token and destroy target artifact. So there are 4 modes on that, and that's 3 mana spell. Jazz, how do you feel about this as our resident Is It expert?
I mean, it's basically Electrolyze, but so much better. And I love this card, but it also kind of makes like older cards slightly obsolete, which is kind of like, I mean, the power. What is the
Power creep.
Yeah, the power creep is real.
I'm kind of inclined to disagree here because like does this instant spell like overtake Cryptic Command or Mystic Confluence at all?
No, but those are 4 cost.
They are, but they're in one color, so you know,
You're
like
comparing apples and oranges. It doesn't make any sense.
yeah, you're right. We should actually be pairing these to the older cycle of 2 color commands, which we saw in Dragons of Tarkir. Um, So each of those were allied color pairs, which were also modal spells. And I
Well, I'm more so comparing them to cards that already like with similar casting costs in the color pairing. Prismari Command is basically the card that has a similar mana value. That's a new thing too.
oh yeah,
Is
we'll talk
a
about that.
is Electrolyze, and Electrolyze is basically completely outshadowed and outshined by Prismari Command.
Well, in fairness, um, I don't really think of Electrolyze as an is it staple in the first place. Like I brewed
Okay, but how many Is It decks do you run? I'm just saying.
mm, oh oh yeah, you got me there.
I'm here to defend my fucking guild. Is where is my bread and butter, and I do have Electrolyze in almost every single Is It deck that I've ever made because it's a good card. It deals damage and it draws you a card. It's a nice cantrip. But now it's completely irrelevant because Prismari Command. I love Prismari Command. I think it's amazing that like I get to do more things, but it kind of just sucks when like a card that you used to like is now like basically obsolete.
Well, I mean, was Electrolyze printed at Rare?
No, Electrolyze is an uncommon. So I guess that
Well,
also like
yeah,
leads in with it too.
like if we're talking about is it instant spells at 3 CMC, something I would compare this a lot more to would be I was about to say ionize, but that actually counters a spell, and the command doesn't actually counter any spells.
Yeah. But I mean, okay, all in all, altogether, I'm very excited about Prismari Command. I love the Prismari as like the flavor of it because I am very much that person, and I think that's why I resonate with Is It and the red blue color pairing so much is because it kind of is basically who I am. Um, and so
Yeah,
them capturing that side of creativity with also intelligence and being super passionate about creating is very much me.
yeah. And the Prismari College have a motto, just like every other campus on Strixhaven, and their motto is "Express yourself with the elements." So it looks like they're
Express
going to.
yourself. Hey, 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 hey. Sorry.
No, it's fine. um, but yeah, that is the Prismari.
So the next college that we have is Lorehold. Loreholds, based off of the introduction, are described as the students who look to the past and try to uncover artifacts, it seems to be very, they remind me of like history majors or like Indiana Jones sort of feel, archaeologists.
Yeah, they've been described as the history majors of Strixhaven, which again is like a really interesting twist on the Boros pairing. So the Lorehold's motto, I believe, is "Leave no stone unturned," which is a cute little motto. But Jazz, do you want to tell us what their spell does?
So Lorehold comes with us with a new card. It's called Lorehold Command. It's an instant for 3 and a red white. There are 4 modes to it, and you get to choose 2 of them. The 4 modes are, first one is create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. Second is creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain indestructible and haste until end of turn. The third one is Lorehold Command deals 3 damage to any target. Target player gains 3 life. And the fourth one is sacrifice a permanent, then draw 2 cards. I think that this is an amazing command. I'm not a big fan of the 5 cost, but I mean, you get a lot. You really do get a lot from all of it and a lot of options. If you need a blocker, you have a 3/2 spirit. If you need to protect your board, you've got indestructibility. And if you need that like last one hit on someone or just a bit of life, you can do that with the command as well. And also draw in Boros. Hello, thank you. I'm in love with this card. Granted, I don't really play Boros, but I think this card is amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely smitten with this card, and also the art is really funny. There's all of these students and a professor. They've got these giant scrolls that are machine guns, and they're just like letting loose, like they've turned this knowledge into like some sort of magical weapon, and it's just really amusing to look at. And the card design is
They've weaponized information.
I can't wait for the uh, pen slash sword modal DFC equipment. Really excited about this direction for Boros. A Boros instant with card drops on the text is a really great indicator of what their identity is going to be in this set. So I think we're going to get some really cool cards going forward.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy Lorehold Command.
I would actually put this in my Jeskai Spellslinging deck that I brewed for the deck matchup challenge because it has the life gain and the damage on it. It's got some card draw. The versatility is incredible, and also it can help me protect my board when I need it to.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so the next college on Strixhaven is the Quandrix. And now Quandrix, their motto is "Math is magic." So these are the mathletes of this university, and they are the Simic pairing. So they are they are blue and green. So obviously we're going to see some broken shenanigans here, but they I love their aesthetic. Their magic has like all this spiky, like looks like fractal or math equations or something. It's really cool. And their command is Quandrix Command. Obviously, it costs 1, a green, and a blue. It's an instant, and you again it has 4 modes. So you choose 2. Return target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. You counter target artifact or enchantment spell. You put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature, or target player shuffles up to 3 cards from their graveyard into their library.
I'm a little underwhelmed with Quandrix Command. I don't hate it, but I'm also just kind of like, okay, that's cute. It's not
This
anything great.
this definitely does not feel like it will be impactful in Commander. I can see it having use in Standard. Countering artifacts or enchantments is relevant in the current Standard with cards like the Great Henge and the Prismatic Bridge that just got released in Kaldheim. But yeah, there's nothing too spectacular about it, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's there's a bounce, but it's also limited to targets. There's a counter, but it's also limited to targets. If you're running a +1 counters sort of strategy, it'll be good. And then shuffling cards back into your library, it's okay. It's not great, not bad. Um,
And honestly, I'm happy with not great and not bad being Simic's power level for this set.
True, but I also hate to see cards kind of just fade into obscurity. I don't like, my preference is cards to find a niche home into certain decks. I would love to see that, but I feel like Quandrix Command is almost, you can overlook it. You can probably pass it up for more for other cards.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm kind of like underwhelmed, but I
But
do
yeah.
love the flavor of Quandrix. I love that they're like the math nerds. I love this like polyhedral sort of magic that they have. It's very interesting. Um, I am very interested. I'm very interested to see what more Quandrix is going to offer us because I do enjoy Simic as a color pairing, although albeit they are very admittedly super broken. So I would like to see more cards that are usable but not like they're not Simic staples.
Yeah, I would much prefer to see stuff that would fit in really niche strategies, instead of it just being overall very broken and powerful. So hopefully we see something like that in Quandrix as a color identity.
Yeah. Like, okay, here just I know we're just like talking about the cards, but if I were to theory craft or if I were to make my own Quandrix command, I would dig into the numbers bit and the math of it, and I could be like return target creature playing like return target permanent with converted with mana value this. Like have numbers in each one because then that would be really cool. That's the flavor of the math.
Yeah, I definitely think they could have pushed that design element a bit further. I'm sure we'll see something much more akin to that with when we get more card previews.
Right. I mean, they kind of did it. They did like put two +1/+1 counters, or and then reshuffle up to three target cards. But I feel like there could have been digging more into that feel and
Yeah,
that flavor.
yeah. I mean, like the Lorehold command also has threes and twos on it, so it's not like a big. I don't think it's a big brain moment that it really could have been.
Right. And I feel like Quandrix wants to be the big brain. They want to be
Yeah.
Galaxy Brain out here, but it kind of just feels very
Hmm.
underwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely. I do love the design of the what appears to be the front-facing Quandrix individual. This black girl with the big glasses and like the green and kind of teal kind of outfit going on. Like, it looks really cool, and I'm actually really enjoying the character designs that we've seen so far.
Oh, for sure.
So there is something to be
I
said
mean,
for that.
speaking of character design, can we talk about like the best one of the all the colleges, and that's Silver Quill?
Sharper style, sharper wit.
No, it's sharp style, sharper wit.
Oh,
Get it right.
well, these are gays. These are the gays. These are the mean
These are
gays.
these are the beatnik poets. These are the English majors. These are the film majors that are telling you that why your movie choices suck.
Yeah, they absolutely
They're
run the.
also like the fashion majors that can read a bitch to filth.
Oh my god, yes. Their outfits. Oh my gosh, goth moments, like fashion goth.
I'm loving their entire aesthetic. Their like title character, or I guess their promotional character for Silver Quill is this like handsome, slightly androgynous, non-binary but probably male identifying mage that just has inky black ink. I'm assuming it's ink. That can't be Phyrexian oil, but it's ink just like swirling around him.
It could be,
And he has
but he also
he
has
has
eyebrow
eyebrow
slits.
slits, y'all.
That's how you know he's one of us.
So Silver Quill Command is a sorcery instead of an instant like the other two. Silver Quill Command is two and a red and oh wait, shit. Silver Quill Command is I'm blanking. I'm like looking at the card right now and I'm just like being dumb. I just love the fashion.
You're just transfixed with the fashion.
Silver Quill Command is two, a white, and a black. So they are the Orzov of Strixhaven. Like all the other cards, it's choose two, and there are four modes. Target creature gets +3/+3 and gains flying until end of turn. Return target creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Target player draws a card and loses 1 life. And finally, target opponent sacrifices a creature. What are your thoughts?
Well, first we need to talk about mana value.
Right. They changed this
This
up on us.
Yes, this is a new shorthand. that Wizards seem to be implementing with their card designs. Instead of saying converted mana cost, they are saying mana value. And
You know, go ahead, continue.
and this is causing a bit of a stir within the community because, as you know, we are nitpicking sons of bitches.
When I first saw it, I was on that train of like, why do they gotta change it? Why do they gotta be all different like this? But you know what? It makes sense from a language perspective. Converted mana cost is a harder concept to understand than mana value.
I mean, I would say in converted mana cost's defense, it is exactly what it says. Um, and also the acronym CMC, it rolls off the tongue really well. However, in terms of card printing and text box layout, the less words you need to put down, the better. So I completely understand where they're coming from in the decision to change it to mana value.
Right. And I'm in defense of mana value. I have taught Magic to many younger players, from like people below the age of 13 even. And the concept for I it might make sense to us as adults. The concept of converted mana cost doesn't instantly trigger, but if I explained it as mana value, I think that it's a much easier concept to grasp than, you know, as much as it makes sense and as much as it like this is what it is, sometimes these kinds of concepts don't exactly translate.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be completely honest here. When I read this spell, I did not even notice that the words have been changed.
Right. Like you can
Yeah,
totally overlook it because I guess it just makes sense. When you read it, it makes sense. It's not like you have to question it.
yeah, it reads fine to me. Obviously, like it seems in keeping with the language and syntax that Magic cards uh have and continue to have. Overall, the Silver Quill command is not that good.
It's not great.
At least the Quandrix command is an instance.
Silver Quill Command, the only reason that I would play it personally is for the recursion, but even then there's better recursion at 4. Um
Yeah, just play like
yeah, like just play on burial rights.
oh yeah. Yeah, that's a really good card too. As I really hope that um we get something a bit more powerful and interesting with Silver Quill going forward because this command is a bit underwhelming, but they can't all be winners.
Similarly to Quandrix, I don't hate it,
Hmm.
but it's also not great. Um it's a good I feel like it'd be a good budget option because I don't foresee this card being super super expensive.
Yeah, no. I agree there. It's going to be something that maybe you crack in a pre-release, and maybe you're trying to do like a budget Esper spell slinging deck, and Silver Coil Command happens to fit the bill. There's going to be a place for each of these cards, but I guess we've been spoiled by power creep and pushed magic cards that this kind of thing just doesn't meet our standards anymore.
It's a bit of a bummer though because like Silver Quill is being advertised and toted around as being like this stylish and intimidating kind of college, and then you kind of get this like really meh
Yeah.
card.
But it's only one card, so maybe we'll see something a bit more interesting in the future. But that's all we have to go on at the minute.
What would be interesting, I mean, like I did with Quandrix, if I could design this card, or if I was allowed to design this card, if Silver Quill is the college that uses ink in their magic and stuff like that, what if they could change the text? I know it's blue, that this ability, but what if they could change the text of a card? I think that'd be an interesting take.
Yeah, maybe they have like the keyword mechanic called rewrite, where like you get to change instances of a color type or a creature type in a spell.
Exactly. I think that'd be very interesting if they like give that to Orzov in this color pairing just to fit with the theme. Um I mean, you might as well. You've given green everything.
Yeah, let Orzhov have some fun.
Speaking of green though,
Hmm. So the final college on Strixhaven are the Witherbloom. And if you couldn't tell by their name, they are the Golgari color pairing. So they are black and green. Their command is also a sorcery, but it only costs a black and a green, so it's 2 CMC. And you, again, 4 modes, and you choose 2. Target player mills 3 cards, then you return a land card from your graveyard to your hand. You destroy a target non-creature, non-land permanent with converted mana cost 2 or less.
Oh my
Oh,
god, you said
sorry.
converted mana cost.
Mana value. Mana value. Yeah. That's so silly. Um, but also, target creature can get -3, -1 until the end of turn, or target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So I think this is actually pretty good.
I like it. I like the first mode, the first two modes are really the ones here that you're going to probably be focusing on. The latter two at sorcery speed kind of feels well, like the third mode, target creature gets -3, -1 until end of turn, is not great. I mean, I guess that's to set up combat. And then target opponent because it's not really a great removal, -3, -1. And then the fourth mode
Well, I
is just
mean, 1 toughness creatures are more common than you think. And when, on turn maybe 2 or 3, you slap this down, you remove maybe a mana dork and somebody's mana rock. Like it's a 2 for 1. Like I would consider that adequate, and I think it's not the worst. But I definitely think the milling and returning a land from your graveyard to your hand is probably the best one.
that's true. Yeah. Yeah, the first mode is really like the best one. And what can you tell me about Witherbloom though? Like their actual style.
So Witherbloom are described as the goth biology majors of Strixhaven, who love to brew potions and ride around on zombie crocodiles. Their motto is
Get your hands dirty.
yes, their motto is "Get your hands dirty," which I am a big fan of. And honestly, I'm kind of torn between Silver Quill and Witherbloom as like which one am I? Which one is my aesthetic? Because like one part is like goblin core potion making witchy vibes, and then Silver Quill is like high fashion, edgy and like super sleek. So like they both reflect parts of me, but I don't know which one is me.
I think if I were to be in a college, it would probably Prismari. Let's just be real. I am. I was the theater kid that was never in theater. Like I love musical
You're in
theater.
band, which is basically
I mean, yeah,
theater.
I was in marching band, I was in concert band, I was in jazz band, so I was the band nerd. And but I also freaking love musical theater, and I'm the musical theater gay of my gay friend group. I mean, well, there's another one in our gay friend group that knows a lot more musical, well, evenly knows. Anyways, um Prismari is probably where I'm at, but I also really love Silver Quill because I'm just a gay that knows how to read a bitch if I need to read a bitch, as you can tell because I can, I've got that sharp style and I've got sharper wit. Hello.
That's on period. I think I probably if I think back to my time as like in secondary school, I'm probably Witherbloom, just because I studied biology and I was a super edgy teen, and I definitely had no style, so definitely wasn't a Silver Quill growing up.
I mean, you still kind of don't, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, there we go. Here he is reading a bitch.
Hi.
I can have style when I want to. I just rather like we're in quarantine. Who needs style nowadays? You're in a robe.
That's true. Yeah, my style right now is just sweat shorts and tank tops because we're not going anywhere.
We aren't. And as much as I like love Lorehold as like, oh, it's Boros. Um, I'm too stupid for history. So I mean, like it's fun. I do like the idea, and I really like it for Boros, but I probably personally don't identify with it.
I love how you basically like shot yourself in the like saying I'm too stupid for history, and yet you were like the bio major Witherbloom, like in
I wasn't a bio major. I took
r-
biology in secondary school. I
right.
went to art college.
I'm just saying I'm just saying, in comparison, if you associate yourself with Witherbloom, who are bio majors, I feel like,
Well, I mean, like I failed biology, so
oh my god. So you were just there for the aesthetic.
I was just there because I was just there because I like plants. I was like I was butting into my plant gay phase that never ended. So yeah.
Anyways, what else is in Strixhaven is there?
So a lot of people something that is also mentioned in the article for introducing Strixhaven is that each of these colleges have founders who are described as elder dragons.
What?
Yeah, so what I'm thinking is just like how these commands complete the cycle from Tarkir block, we are going to get a cycle of dragons, elder dragons specifically, in these
Oh
color
my god,
pairings.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes, give me another Is It Dragon. Niv Mizzet
yes.
needs a buddy.
Okay, yeah, but like, man, if Niv Mizzet and whatever Prismari dragon gets involved, like that's gonna be a party.
Okay, wait. Here's a gag. Here's a gag. What if Niv Mizzet is the professor, the founding like elder dragon of Prismari, and then just kind of chilled out? No, he can't planeswalk.
No, he can't.
But it would be a gag. It would be a gag.
Yeah, it would be pretty funny. But also, Niv Mizzet doesn't seem like a theater kid to you. Like on Ravnica, the theater folks are like the Rakdos, and they're like, that's bloody theater. That's not quite the same as what the Prismari are going
That's
for.
like let me stab myself on stage so you can see the art. It's a little bit Lady Gaga of like her VMA performance.
Yeah, let me paint with blood. Okay, so what era of Gaga is Rakdos, and what era is Prismari?
Prismari is art pop, and then Rakdos is the Fame era.
Yeah, that checks out. I mean, like you're the resident expert, so of course, I'll follow your lead on that. Something else.
Yes.
The dragons.
But the dragons,
Yeah, the
the
dragons.
dragons.
I can't wait to see the dragons. Yeah. But something else that people have been talking about in regards to Strixhaven is the Planeswalker Kasmina, who was first featured in War of the Spark.
Oh, hold on.
What?
Why are you moving on?
Were we done with the dragons?
No.
Do you want to talk about what the Kenrith twins?
No, I meant you don't want to talk about the possibilities of what these dragons could be?
Oh, I mean, we could.
Well, okay, they're all going to be they're all going to be flying, obviously, because they're
Well, yeah.
dragons. I think that their converted mana costs, or their mana values, rather, excuse me, are going to be around the 5 or 6 mark collectively. There might be, I mean, I would be okay. I'd be cool with like a cheeky 3 drop. That'd be nice.
Ooh, God, no. I want to see a 7 drop.
All I know is that I'm excited, and I'd probably build around them because they're gonna have some interesting, abilities. I
Yeah.
bet Lore Hold is gonna have some artifact synergy, obviously.
Yeah. But I hope we see some card advantage built into it as well. I think they've got a really good opportunity here to build a really solid Boros commander that people are going to be excited to see. That isn't just, equipments and auras.
Right. Prismari are probably going to have a, super flamboyant dragon. At least I hope so. A very super flamboyant dragon. I think an interesting thing for Quandrix, if I were to build a Elder Dragon for them, a math-related alternate win con.
Ooh, like Baron von Count.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be so cool.
I think that'd be very interesting, very different from, the Simic playstyle.
Yeah, maybe something similar to Simic Ascendancy, which cares about +1/+1 encounters being on it at like a certain number, or something like Helix Pinnacle.
Yeah, the Simic colors have a lot of alternate win cons. A lot of them.
Well, yeah.
So it would be very cool if it was on a legendary.
Mm-hmm.
Although it will also be slightly like problematic because having it as a commander means it's like instant access to it.
Well, yeah, I mean it's Simic, so of course it's going to be broken. What are you talking about?
Silver Quill, what do you think their Elder Dragon is going to be like?
Oh, that's kind of tough because we haven't gotten a whole lot of white black dragons. The closest we have are like the 3-colored dragons, like the Teneb the Harvester, the Abzan dragon, like, and that had kind of stuff from like stealing from opponents' graveyards and whatever. So, but I don't see that being in Silver Quill's wheelhouse.
As far as abilities, I'm not sure what we're gonna see with the Silver Quill Elder Dragon, but what I would like to see from a flavor perspective, from a character design perspective, is
Ink
this
wings.
yes, inky, super sleek, super like jet black with it just looks super freaking modern. I would love to see that as far as a
Or
a
or
Elder
what
Dragon.
if it's made of paper?
Ooh. So like a like origami
Like it's like it
dragon?
yeah, maybe it's like Conan from Naruto. She's just like made of paper, but like there's ink like bleeding out of it or
That's
something.
interesting. Yeah.
That would probably be an artifact creature though.
A little bit, yeah. And then Witherbloom, their dragon, I see.
There's gonna be graveyard
Oh yeah,
shenanigans.
for sure.
Yeah.
Or that or like creating plant tokens, maybe?
Ooh, a plant dragon. That'd
Plant
be super cool.
dragon.
I love plant tokens, so that would be a lot of
I
fun.
mean, they could be like an elder plant dragon. That way you could have a freaking plant commander, a new plant commander.
Nice. I'm very into that idea. Um, but so these are all the founders of the dragons of the university. But every university needs to have a dean or a headmaster. So who do you think the headmaster is going to be, Jazz?
I have no idea. Wait, is there going to be a headmaster card? I didn't know that they were
I
doing
mean,
that.
I would assume. I mean, they haven't said that they have, and they haven't said that they haven't. But just how colleges work, I would be surprised if they didn't include something similar to that.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, yeah. So maybe we'll see another Phyrexian. Maybe it'll be Jin Gataxius. He's wormed his way into the school plane.
That'd be very, very interesting.
Yeah, and maybe we'll get another Phyrexian like frame treatment, which would be super cool.
Hmm.
But the other option is that people have been talking about is possibly Casmina, the enigmatic mentor planeswalker who we first saw on War of the Spark. The art book for War of the Spark gave us some more character details about her. Describes her as part of a shadowy order that abducts like potential planeswalkers that she calls embers, and like is recruiting them for some big cause. And because of her nature as a card that lets you like create wizard tokens, and she's a mentor, and that she herself seems very wizardly, a lot of people have been speculating that she herself is going to be a figure in whatever kind of story is going to unfold on Strixhaven.
Yeah, that could be really, really interesting. I want to know more about the War of the Spark Planeswalkers that didn't have, a big, they don't have a big story behind them yet. And so learning more about Casmina is going to be surely interesting.
Hmm.
But just to go back on like the possible, like I'm just thinking about it to go back on the possible deans of the college, and if we're going into the Phyrexian route, like Elish Norn would be a very interesting one.
Oh yeah.
But like you could kind of see her as a principal.
Oh yeah. I
You
mean, like
don't want her to be
she's
your
the
principal,
grand principal Cenobite. Like she would like.
right?
I feel like maybe she would be like the head of the Silver Quill College if she was. Maybe she turns her skin from like red to black. Speaking of planeswalkers that are going to be featured in Strixhaven, some of the packaging was also previewed, and on the bundle package, we see two very familiar faces that we saw most recently on Throne of Eldraine. Will and Rowan Kenrith. They are
The
back,
Scion
baby.
twins.
Cersei and Jaime Lannister have returned.
That's not fair.
That was just a joke. That's just what people say. From what people can see, they appear to be a bit older than their Throne of Eldraine selves. So they're a bit more experienced now, and now they've landed on this plane, Arcavios, and there's this wizarding school full of bright young mages like themselves, and maybe they join the Prismari and take a theater class.
I would love to see them as a modal double faced card.
Yes, that's what people have been saying. One side Rowan, one side Will. They've confirmed that we are getting modal faced cards in Strixhaven. So a two-sided Planeswalker card seems very interesting.
Hmm. It would be. I mean, it makes sense, especially for them because they share a spark. Like
Yeah.
lore wise, they're the first instance of two people sharing one spark. So I could imagine though, like them not going into Prismari actually, and maybe like Rowan going into Lorehold and Will going into Quandrix, just to.
So it would be a 4-colored demodal face DFC Planeswalker.
Well, no, not necessarily. I meant more so like lore
Like,
wise. Like the card themselves would
oh,
still be red blue, but
mm-hmm,
you know, Will studying more of math and
mm-hmm.
Rowan studying more archaeology.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not too familiar with their characters specifically. I didn't read the Wildered Quest ebook that came with Throne of Eldraine. I just read a summary of it. But something that they previewed as well in this article was the Mystical Archive.
Oh my gosh, yes, these are beautiful.
Yeah, so the Mystical Archive, in the lore, like to fit in with this world, is the Strixhaven's like repository of like magic and old scrolls and such that they've got like in their library. So they have a bunch of beautiful showcase framed cards, alternate arts of staple classic instants and sorceries across Magic's history.
So far, they have shown us Demonic Tutor, they've shown us Opt, and they've shown us Swords to Plowshares.
Yes, and they are absolutely gorgeous. The illustrations are phenomenal. Personally, I think the frame treatment is a little strange.
I'm not a fan of the
I'm
borders.
not
I'm really
either. I'm
not.
really not. It looks like they did half of the Celtic knot work from Kaldheim and called it a day.
And I get that like they're trying to go for this scroll like parchment feel, but it just is reading very
There's
yellow.
a lot of yellow on yellow on yellow.
Yeah.
And I think like any golden instant or sorcery is going to look really ugly in these.
But I will say the art is is kind of pulling up for all of these
Yeah, absolutely.
design
Yeah,
snafus.
the illustrations on them are gorgeous. But what really got people excited for these were
Oh my god.
the
Yes.
Japanese mystical archive versions.
These are so fucking good. You don't understand. I'm going to buy them.
Yeah,
Like I will spend the money for them. I understand that they're probably going to be grossly overpriced, but these are just like art pieces and they're so freaking good.
yeah. So if you're familiar with any type of Japanese illustration or design, these will immediately read as Japanese to you. They have got a very strong woodblock Japanese ukiyo-e painting feel to them. Very inky, very kind of very textured and very atmospheric in the way that a lot of classical Japanese art was. And they're just absolutely phenomenal pieces of art.
Yes, they're it's classical Japanese art styles, not modern like Studio Ghibli or anime store. Nothing wrong
Yeah.
with those art styles, obviously, but it is paying homage to the classic art, which is so freaking beautiful and so good.
Yeah. And the titles of the cards are oriented vertically as well in the traditional Japanese writing style.
And I love that. So far, we've also seen Demonic Tutor, Opt, and
Yeah.
Swords to Plowshares. Hopefully, we get to see more. What would you actually want to see as these archive cards?
I mean, the obvious one that everybody's talking about is Lightning Bolt.
Oh, of course, we need to see Bolt.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone wants to see the Bolt. So there's no question about that.
Right.
So that would be the red one that we would see. I know there's like they've said that there's going to be like 60 something of them, but maybe a green instant or sorcery that I'd like to see, um, a heroic intervention would be cool.
I think heroic intervention would be really nice, but I will see your heroic intervention and I will raise you a triumph of the hordes.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Let's make that card even more expensive.
Yes. Well, actually, I think alternate art versions of cards actually drive down the price of the originals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, something that I've been paying attention to as we get more and more different art versions of cards. But I think these are actually going to be a little more accessible than you think, because in every single booster pack, be it a collector's booster, a set booster, or a draft booster, there is going to be one of these mystical archive cards.
Oh,
They
shut
do not.
up.
Yeah, they don't take, and they're not going to take up an extra the rarity slot. So you can crack a rare, and you can also crack a rare mystical archive. Now, obviously, they're not.
There's going to be a lot of demonic tutors out in circulation then.
Well, I mean, there's going to be 60 something of them, and demonic tutor is the mythic rare. So obviously, I think,
Oh,
yeah,
oh, there's 60 of these in total.
yeah, that's what they said. That's what I believe, something like 62 or something, 63. So there's going to be a suite of them that we'll see. So demonic tutor might be a little harder to pick up than you think.
Well, still, it's a nice pickup.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, if they're reprinting demonic tutor, maybe they'll be reprinting stuff like enlightened tutor or mystical tutor.
I'd like to see Ponder. I'd like to see Polymorph. I would like to see Mana Drain.
Ooh, that would be a biggie.
I mean, and that's just the blue in me of cards that I would love to see.
I mean, I would love to see a Doomblade. I just think it might make a really cool Japanese illustration.
That's true. It would very much look very cool. Yeah. You don't have a there's not a ton of white iconic instants and sorceries.
That aren't Swords to Plowshares or Path to Exile.
Right.
I mean, maybe they'll do Teferi's Protection.
That would be nice. Or Terminus. Terminus could be cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, we're definitely gonna get a board wipe of some kind for in this.
Ooh, Wrath.
Yeah, maybe they'll just reprint straight up Wrath of God. I really like this flavor that they're going with in this time. It's very reminiscent of the list cards that we've seen in set boosters and collectors boosters from Zendikar and Kaldheim. So, it's pretty cool. And I like that they've made it much more accessible than the list cards. Like 1 in 8 card of the set booster packs would have one, and you might not even get something good. So like,
Yeah, I really hated that.
yeah, they didn't really push down any reprint 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 equity. Ooh, woo.
Oh my god.
Reprint equity that something like at this level would have. Like, as much like, even if I'm not crazy about the frame styles, like, I'm still excited to see extra cards being put in, especially if they're classic cards from Magic's history, that are more likely to be commander staples.
For sure. Yeah. I think the possibilities are going to be very, very interesting. And
Okay, wait, I'm calling it now. There's going to be a mystical archive for Thoughtseize.
oh yeah, that would be really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my call. But yeah, so that, in a nutshell, a very large 50-minute nutshell, is what we have learned so far about the Magic set of Strixhaven.
Oh my god, I hope they give us
Jazz?
Fork. Sorry.
Fork.
That'd be I mean
Yeah, that'd be
or
cool.
Reverberate. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Final thoughts on Strixhaven? I'm excited. I was gonna be a hater about it because it's just basically Harry Potter. Oh, speaking of, do you think they're gonna do like a Secret Lair Harry Potter IP crossover?
I was dreading when we would get to this. I sincerely hope that they don't, but I sincerely also doubt that they won't.
I mean,
Because this crossover has been something has basically been inevitable, just because of the nature of the two. They're two incredibly successful fantasy based intellectual properties, and Wizards have obviously shown that they are interested in engaging with other IPs, with the Godzilla franchise, with the Walking Dead Secret Lair. So we could very well see mechanically unique Harry Potter cards in an upcoming Secret Lair. And
here's the thing. I would much rather prefer to see them do the treatment they did with Godzilla, where it's just a alternate art kind of skin for an existing card. I really, really, really hope that they don't make unique cards like they did with The Walking Dead and like make them sort of chase FOMO cards.
yeah, that would just it would be this Secret Lair Walking Dead 2.0. Like, it would be the exact same ire and outcry there would be against it, but probably even more so due to the contentious nature of the Harry Potter franchise at the minute, because obviously some of that money would go back into the author's pocket, who is, as we all
We don't
know,
talk about her.
we don't talk about her. We don't talk about transphobes or
She's
bigots on this podcast. So, that in itself is reason enough for me to not want to see any kind of Harry Potter branding involved with this. But I know that we will most likely see some in one form or another. I would rather see a magician's secret lair.
Yeah, that would be really
I've not
cool.
even seen that show.
It's actually really good. You should like
Yeah, I've
totally
heard good
watch
things
it.
about it, but I'm also just like, I would rather see something I've never heard about than the Harry Potter franchise, which is a bit of a shame because years ago, when I was still a big Harry Potter fan and a big Magic fan, this would have like blown my mind. Like
It would have been
it would have been
perfect.
amazing.
Absolutely perfect.
Like and my younger self, I wouldn't have any thoughts about like ownership or exploitation about the consumerism and like the practices that wizards do. Like I would have eaten it up.
But yeah, closing thoughts on Strixhaven.
So all of the HP bullshit aside, I'm actually really excited about Strixhaven. Like from what I've seen so far, it's a very unique and interesting setting. I really like the flavor of the colleges. Um, I feel like each of them are unique enough where it's not some sort of like they don't feel like Hogwarts houses. They feel like like university majors. Like it actually feels like relatable. So hopefully like this feeling continues and I continue to feel represented and excited about the direction that they're taking it.
I think the thing that separates Strixhaven from like Hogwarts is because Hogwarts bases like separates you based off your personality, whereas Strixhaven separates you based off of your interests and your
Passions.
major
Hmm.
and yeah, your passions. So I mean, there is a bit of a personality there, like with Silver Quill, but it kind of fits on theme with the major and like the quote unquote stereotypes that follow with them. Initially was kind of skeptical about Strixhaven, and I still kind of am, because the feel of this plane or this set rather, it feels very there's a very unsensibility in the set because it's just so fun. It seems so lighthearted and it seems so um
It has a big
jovial in nature.
yeah, it has a big Battle Bond vibe to it that a lot of people didn't enjoy because Battle Bond was very much about like sports entertainment,
Yeah,
which seems like as a theme very disconnected to what Magic is. But
right.
I think they've
Especially coming from like Kaldheim and like the dark or and just darker themes that we have had. It almost feels very foreign, but I'm not saying it doesn't belong. It just feels it's different.
yeah. I mean, I feel like it'll be a breath of fresh air if all goes well. You know,
For sure. Yeah.
yeah. As long as I just hope they keep posting web stories and I don't have to buy a book to know what the story is going on.
Yeah, that'd be very helpful and very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, but something that I'm also really excited about for Strixhaven is like all of the different types of characters that we're seeing because in each of the commands there's a bevy of different kind of characters like human and non-human. So we're gonna and see some really interesting stuff. And in one of the promo themes, there's a bear professor who looks really cool. He's just a bear with giant glasses. It's super cute. Um, and
Which is also why it leads to me to think that it feels like an unset, like
yeah, I mean, like so, like Strixhaven has been described as like a multiverse school, like the best magic school in the multiverse. So, like my theory is that these are people from a bunch of different planes, like brought here because they've shown the potential to be incredible like mages or wizards.
okay, with that in mind though, does that mean that a planeswalker is picking them up? How are they
Well,
getting
I mean, I mean, maybe they have their own planar bridge or something. I know Kaya can bring people across planes of existence for some reason because her powers let her do that for some reason. That's why I'm inclined to think that Casmiina is going to show up here because her whole character is being like is said to be finding these potential planeswalkers, these embers, and taking them somewhere. So obviously, if you're trying to get, oh well, it does specifically say she inflicts trauma on them to ignite their sparks. So that's not great.
Well, maybe this introduction of Strixhaven is like the introductory, college tour video, and when in reality, maybe Strixhaven is this place where planeswalkers like Kesmina are taking them to annals of the college are is inflicting pain so that they can spark. Maybe it is darker and it's not this like bright and jovial set that I'm thinking it is.
Yeah, I mean. What I'm kind of thinking, and I haven't gotten any kind of like indication of this from the set, is that it's going to be very Planeswalker heavy, like not maybe War of the Spark levels heavy, but I think it looks like Strixhaven has a lot more Planeswalkers in it than we think.
This actually aligns to, college life. Is what if there's a secret society?
Ooh, yeah, maybe, or maybe it's more like in what's that show called? What's the show called? Dear White People. Maybe it's like in the Dear White People Netflix show.
Well, I mean, just the more that I'm thinking about it, like, how are these students getting here? And if it's like planeswalkers that are bringing them here, maybe it's kind of like we're seeing.
Suspicious.
It's a little suspicious. The way that it feels like is kind of like how in Star Wars you are thought to believe that the Jedi Council and the Jedi's in general are like, the good. But when you think about it, these are people that are going to other planets and taking children away from families in the thought that these kids are force sensitive and we're going to train them. But it's like, look at what
Yeah,
happened,
with
what you
like,
did when you took
yeah,
a child away from their parents and their family. You
yeah, under the guise of like the greater good, you know.
Right. So could be like that. Maybe. Who
Yeah,
knows?
I mean, if the headmaster is just a lofty mono blue wizard, we're definitely going to see some shifty stuff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not in Teleria anymore.
Maybe it's Dumbledore.
Fuck Dumbledore.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks for listening to us rambling about conspiracy theories about the Strixhaven plane or school.
Yeah, thank you so much. If you want to find us on YouTube, you can like and subscribe us there. You can also find us on Twitter at PartnerPod. That's PartnerPod. I spelt it right this time. And you can find me, Ralph, at Ralph Does Magic on Twitter. Jazz, where can they find you?
They can find me in a dumpster near them behind an Arby's. Or you can find me on Twitter at Jazzworth, Jazzworth. Either one is fine,
If you do
but if
see
you do find
him,
me behind a dumpster, please bring me Starbucks.
and throw him some Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh my god, yes!
Yeah.
But you can also at me. Feel free to talk to me. I'm woefully lonely.
Yes, we all are.
In the dumpster as
Yeah,
well.
we are. Yeah, just climb in. There's room. Yeah,
Just join
yeah.
me. Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. Have a great week. See you next Tuesday.
Adios.